Hi there, it's Manu and this is Italy Made Easy, and we've been talking about how you can quickly and effectively pick up a new language or foreign language, hopefully Italian, but this works for any language that you're studying. So we already looked at the first 5 tips of this strategy because that's what it is a strategy. It will get you speaking in no time. If you do everything that we said so far for 2 or 3 months, you'll be miles ahead of any other learner of that language in just 2 or 3 months, and you'll feel really good about yourself and you'll keep going without giving up. So today's tip is really good. I love this one, maybe because I'm a geek, but basically you want to be actively analyzing the language, the foreign language that you're studying. What do I mean by that? Okay, so we've been playing movies in the background, we've been listening to stuff in that language, stuff that you're already familiar with, and just getting an idea of the sounds and the vocabulary, and that was the previous tip. But what I'm talking about now is totally different. I'm talking about actively studying, okay? You gotta study, you gotta put in the effort, right? So, what am I talking about? Find bilingual material. Hopefully in print, it's a lot easier to work with text. A really good resource is a product called Assimil. It's a really good way of learning a language. It's very affordable. It's like $100. And basically what it does is, you don't have to use that particular resource. I'm actually, for Italian, I'm in the process of creating a bunch of material like this, and it's going to be free here on YouTube. But whatever language you're learning, find something that is bilingual, that will have the text in that language and, on the other side, the text in your language. And go and read one line and then check the translation. So this is very active studying, and you are really trying to understand why things are happening. For example, to give you an example in Italian, let's say I read something like studiare italiano è facile e interessante. Okay, I just made it up. And then you look at the English translation and it says studying Italian is easy and interesting. Okay, look at the words. Now you already have 3 months of grammar and 3 months of vocabulary, blah, blah, blah. For this example, you don't have to have 3 months of anything, really. But, I'm just showing you what you should be doing with whatever text you're working with. So, studiare italiano, studying Italian. Well, italiano means Italian. And the way they say studying as the subject of a sentence in Italian is with studiare. Okay, studiare is the infinitive of the verb, because you know this stuff by now because you've been studying, and you know that it's just an infinitive, it's a verb, to study. So in Italian they say to study, whereas in English they say studying. Oh, okay, good. Italiano. Is, that's a 100%, that's 1-to-1 match. Facile. Oh, I didn't know that word, but it says easy, so facile must mean easy. I know that means and. Interessante, looks like interesting, and that's the new word that I've learned. So now this is a very simple example. You could find material that is a lot more interesting than my silly example, but that's what I suggest you do. Actively analyze the language that you're studying, matching it with your language. This is based on comparative linguistics, which is, to my knowledge, the best way to learn a language, because, like I said in the previous video, it's not ignoring this big asset that you have, which is the fact that you're fluent in your language. That's why the immersion doesn't work. A child that is picking up a language with the immersion method, it's because the childless doesn't know a language. It doesn't have anything to work with, so it slowly and surely picks up the language. But you have your own language, right? So don't waste all that knowledge, because Italian and English, for example, are very, very similar. Other languages will be less similar, but still similar, okay, in a certain way. Okay, so what happens if you don't have this Assimil product, or you're not studying Italian with me, so you don't have access to this kind of cool material that would help you analyze the language in the two versions? Well, sometimes you could find websites that are bilingual. You could find like maybe an Italian magazine, if you're studying Italian, like their website, and maybe they have the English version. Maybe you can use that. Open 2 tabs and have the Italian article and the English translated article. Maybe that's a way. Another way that is really good, that's the way I learned English, for example, was analyzing movies. You can't do this for every language. It depends on the language that you're learning, but if your language, the language that you're learning, has the habit of dubbing films, as in having actors speak the local language instead of the original language, then that's a good trick. For example, for Italian, in Italy, everything that you see on TV or at the cinema is in Italian. So if you watch an American movie, if you're watching The Hunger Games, in Italy, they speak Italian. Every actor speaks Italian. Okay? It's not subtitled, but the American actors actually speak Italian. Okay? It's really interesting. But it's horrible because that's why Italians can't speak any language, or we have a hard time picking up languages, I should say. You know, some of us speak languages, but overall we don't. Pick a scene of a movie that you're already familiar with, and you would just play that scene in your language. So let's say you're picking up, let's say The Hunger Games, okay? And watch that scene, like a 2-minute scene, a 3-minute scene. Watch it in English 5 times. Be pretty much to the point of knowing by heart what they're saying. Then switch to Italian. The same scene in Italian. How do you can buy a DVD and it could be bilingual. You could find it like, you could sign up for like streaming services in Italy, and then you can watch the movie in Italian. So there's so many. You could go to the library, and there's so many ways. Do this a few times and try and say, okay, good. Once you've done that, watch it like a few more times, still just in Italian or in the foreign language, and now focus on the sounds. Like, am I able to detect what words they're saying, even though I don't know what they mean, but can I understand these are the words that they're saying roughly? And then, after all that, turn on subtitles in the foreign language, in this case in Italian. So you're watching the movie in Italian, the movie that you already know, and you're reading the Italian subtitles. Now, unfortunately, subtitles never match what the actors are saying, but it will give you a guideline. That's why I suggest that you work with something like a simile, because it was designed to be bilingual. But movies can really help, and that's how I picked up my English, also with songs. I hope you enjoyed this tip, and I will see you in the next video for some more great tips to pick up a language. Ciao ciao! Ragazzi, per non perdere nessuna lezione di italiano, attivate le notifiche. Si fa così: prima vi iscrivete al canale, poi fate clic sulla campana vicino al bottone rosso e selezionate questa opzione. Salvate e via! Facile, no?